Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and that means tonight was Monday Night Raw. As far as tonight's Monday Night Raw does go, I thoroughly enjoyed the show and felt like it was a really good Raw that was basically all about building up to the pay-per-view. It was all about the tournaments, the King and the Queen tournaments, the King and the Queen of the Ring tournaments, and building up to that King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. They, I think, officially announced 2 matches. We got 1 match officially announced with Becky and Liv. I think the triple threat for the IC title was officially announced, and we got progression within the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. We had 3 first-round matches in each. The 4th from the Raw side will be taking place this weekend at live events on either side, men's and women's. And yeah, we go from there. Really, really, really good progression. I thought we had some great matches tonight. Holy crap. Give me Ilya Dragonov versus Ricochet on a pay-per-view with no interruptions, because that match rocked. That match was so good. That aerial shot of Ricochet doing the corkscrew plancha was such a good call there by Lee Fitting or whoever was directing that at the moment, to be like, hey, give me the top shot. Give me the top shot. He's going for a dive. Because he does the dives through the ropes, and we'll talk about it when we get to the match, but it's like he does the dives through the ropes. You do the regular camera angles and stuff there, but then it's like he knew he was going to do the over-the-top rope flip dive, which is the bigger moment, and God, was that a great call for them to go for the, what's it called, the Wile E. Coyote cam, the top-down aerial shot. So I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really good, and there was just so much good on this show. They really had a good Raw that was nothing but progression. There was no wasted time on this show. Granted, the Becky segment I felt went longer than it needed to, but nothing on this show was just there. Everything that they did on this show made sense and was done for a reason, and I loved that. So we'll get into all that here in just one moment. I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you, well, have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, head over to YouTube and help us out over there a couple of different ways. Head over there and hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post new things to the community tab. Hit that join button to become a channel member and support the channel that way. Even if it's only at the $1 tier. We greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. And finally, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout. Trying to get into the early access of Hades 2? I hear that game is great. Well, buy it on the Epic Game Store and use this code, PWUNLIMITED. They also have a Star Wars May the 4th Be With You sale going on right now. You can get Jedi Survivor the Deluxe Edition, Fallen Order the Deluxe Edition, and so much more. Also, go claim the free games, Cat Quest 2 and Orcs Must Die 3. Haven't played Cat Quest 2, but I have played Orcs Must Die 3. And that game, pretty good. I enjoyed my time with it. It is also on Game Pass, and so that's how I played it. But go buy it through the Epic Game Store, or claim it. It's free right now. With that, let me turn my fan on really fast. It's a little warm in here, so let me get the fan going, and then we'll jump into Raw. So, as far as this Raw does go, there's a recap of Backlash early on in the show to open everything up. They played up very much. They very much played up how great the crowd was in France, like amazing. Probably one of the best crowds we've ever seen for an arena show. Now, maybe we've seen a stadium show with a better crowd just because there's more people there, but it's like they had, 12,000 people, 11,000 people in that building, and it sounded like 50. So that's telling something. Michael Cole said that 3 of the first round matches in both the men's and women's King and Queen of the Ring tournaments will be taking place tonight instead of all 4, which was the right call because you didn't want to cram too much into this show. You also had the Chad Gable Bronson Reed match. So he said the 4th matches will take place at live events this weekend. That would be Zelina Vega and Shayna Baszler, Kofi Kingston, and Rey Mysterio. And I was like, oh, dang. I really wanted to see Rey and Kofi. But, hey, we'll maybe. Well, I don't know. Never mind. I was going to say we'll maybe see it, but I doubt they film it and stick it on like YouTube or Peacock. So they also talked about the news that Drew McIntyre is not cleared to compete, which comes up later, which is Drew McIntyre and Adam Pearce. Their little 30 seconds, 45 seconds was awesome. But they said Drew McIntyre is not cleared to compete, and instead, Jey Uso will be facing Finn Balor tonight. And on cue, out comes Judgment Day. Judgment Day come out as the show does open with the Finn Balor Jey Uso match. Priest says that he wants to address what happened after his match and what happened with the Judgment Day. Finn apologized to Priest and said that he was the one that needed to apologize. Priest appreciated their help and was still champion because of them. Priest said that he appreciated JD and called Balor his brother. He hugged them. Dominic was just standing there, so he joined in on the hug. Remember, Dominic didn't go overseas, so Dominic wasn't at Backlash. Priest then said that Balor would be the next king of the ring. Balor said that he got a first-round bye because McIntyre wasn't cleared, and this was the first step towards the Prince becoming a king. Balor wanted Samantha Irvin to announce it before she could. Adam Pearce would enter and inform Finn Balor that he was not getting a bye and he would be facing Jey Uso. And my first thought was, this man not on Twitter? No one came to him backstage and said, you're facing Jey tonight? This is kind of dumb for him to go, oh, well, since Drew's not clear, I get a bye. And I thought that was possible. But no, he's facing Jey. And it all made so much sense. But it's like, how dumb was this when we all knew about this almost 2 hours before Raw went on the air? When did they post that Adam Pearce video? Let me go to their Twitter really fast. When did they post that Adam Pearce video? Let's go to the WWE Twitter and see. So, Adam Pearce video. We're almost there. Gotta scroll through all these Raw tweets. Okay, so it was 2:31 p.m. Pacific. 2, 3, 4, 2.5 hours before the show went on the air. And no one could tell this guy, you're facing Jey? No? Okay. So this match did go 11.5 minutes, and it was a pretty good match with a very interesting finish. Well, kind of interesting, I guess you could say. So Balor cut off Jey's comeback early. Jey then fought back with some right hands and a flying crossbody for a 2. Balor then cut him off again with a clothesline, but Jey came back with some strikes and a super kick. Balor dodged a splash and hit a drop kick. Jey dodged a coup de grace and hit a spear for a near fall. This then led to Drew McIntyre coming out and making the distraction. They said that he may be upset that Jey Uso, of all people, was taking his spot in the King of the Ring tournament. Balor then applied a schoolboy. We only got a 2 off of it after hitting a sling blade. Jey then cut him off, hit another spear, and pinned him to pick up the victory as Drew was irate. You know, Drew doesn't like Jey. Jey takes Drew's spot in the tournament and then wins and advances. Ooh. They're going to do something eventually with this Jay. I mean, they kind of have already, but they're still building on it. Jay and Drew McIntyre. We do have some bit donations here. Esports Gaming Rule says, I'm glad the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournament, or King of the Ring, truly means something under Triple H. And it seems some conflicting reports about Jerry Lawler. Some reports say he was let go, and some are saying that he was let go as an announcer. Okay, so the whole Jerry Lawler thing. Mike Johnson of PWU Insider put out a report this morning stating that WWE did not renew his contract, Jerry Lawler, as an announcer, a talent. So his talent contract was not renewed. Now, there's no conflicting here. That is true. WWE then reached out to PWU Insider to state, correct, Jerry Lawler is no longer a talent for WWE. He is no longer an announcer for the company, but has signed a Legends deal so they can still work with him and he could still be linked to WWE. So that's what's going on with Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler is still technically with the company. He's just not on a talent deal anymore like they had been doing since 1992. He'd been on a talent deal. And for the last, I don't know how many years, every January, they'd sign him to a new one-year deal, new one-year deal, new one-year deal, new one-year deal, just to keep him locked in. And so all the people on Twitter going, oh my God, let's get JR and King to call an AEW match. Ain't going to happen because King is still under a Legends deal with WWE. So he's not going to go work for AEW. He's just not getting paid announcer salary, I guess. I don't know exactly how that all works and what he was getting in making and whatnot. But yeah, he's on one of them $10,000 Legends deals now, which means they can use his likeness for merchandise, toys, video games, and so forth. That's about it. And if they ever need Legends to make appearances, like say in Memphis, they call him up and go, hey, Jerry, want to go do a meet and greet? You know, something like that. But he's not, again, listed as a talent anymore. But he's not under a talent contract. And Esports here also says, oh, is this the same question he asked twice? Gotcha. Yeah, literally nothing's conflicting. It's the whole thing is that outlets picked up the first Drew McIntyre or the Jerry Lawler story about how they didn't renew his contract. And then a lot of them didn't come back with the update the PW Insider got. And so that's where like some did and some didn't. And so if you read it on, say, like Wrestling Purist, but then you saw Fightful come back and say, oh, he's still under a Legends deal, then you go, well, which is the true one? Which one's correct? What's conflicting? You know, it's not conflicting at all. Not conflicting at all. Where was I? So, here we go. So Jey Uso does beat Finn Balor and then moves on in the tournament. We'll face the winner of Ilya Dragonov and Ricochet, which we know is Dragonov. So we're getting Jey Uso and Dragonov next week on Raw. That match should be really good. Ivy Nile and Zoe Stark were shown warming up for their upcoming tournament match. Becky Lynch was also shown arriving at the building, and they said that she will have an exclusive interview in the ring later with Michael Cole. There was a video package on Gunther's win over Sheamus at Clash at the Castle 2002. They really built up this main event first round tournament match as something big, something important, a huge big deal. So we're in the back, and McIntyre is arguing with Adam Pearce, going, why was I replaced in the King of the Ring tournament? Why was Jey Uso put in my spot? And Pearce is like, you're not cleared. You're hurt. And that's all your fault anyways. If you didn't tell anybody, if you wouldn't have gone out and told the world that your elbow was hurt and messed up because of Punk, I wouldn't have had medical check you out. And medical wouldn't have deemed you not cleared to compete. So this is all your fault. He jumps in a black Corvette and leaves the building. And as he does, there's a glitch on the screen, of course, one of the Uncle Howdy glitches. Camaro Z28, a 1980s Camaro Z28 pulls up, a yellow one, and CM Punk is in it. CM Punk looks at Pearce, and Pearce is like, well, if you're looking for Drew McIntyre, you just missed him. And Punk's like, drats. Okay, you go tell the truck to play my music? I need to go out to the ring, and I got something important to say. And so, yeah. I loved the interaction between Drew and Pearce. Drew's all mad that he got replaced in the tournament. And Pearce is like, hey, if you didn't go out and tell everybody that Punk hurt your arm, your elbow, I wouldn't have told medical that they needed to do a follow-up on you, and they wouldn't have deemed you not cleared. So that's on you. And I love just the way Pierce just laid it out like, I ain't playing no games and you ain't getting around this shit. So I really like that. And then Drew was like, I'm tired of this place. And he got in his Corvette and left. The cameras then followed CM Punk as he made his way through the back. He took a jab at Jackie Redmond over the Toronto Maple Leafs losing. Chad Gable was berating the Alpha Academy. And then also he goes, Punk, Punk. And he asked for like the fist bump. Punk's like, hey, take it easy on these guys. Just take it a little easy. Punk then makes his way out to the ring. He says that, I had an interesting weekend. I was stuck at the headquarters all weekend. And then when I finally got out, I realized, I'm not too far away from where Raw's going to be in Hartford. I might as well show up. He planned on picking a fight with Drew McIntyre tonight, but McIntyre's already left. Punk then said, last week I wanted to do my thing faster than Drew McIntyre's title reign at WrestleMania, 526. But tonight, I might take my time because I want Drew to come back. I want Drew to come back to the ring, to the arena, turn that car around, and come fight me. He's like, I bet you Drew's at a red light right now. Not texting his wife or anything, but he's probably scrolling Twitter like he likes to do. Now, I need your guys' help. Pat, you, and everybody watching. Tweet at Drew McIntyre and tell him that I'm here in the ring waiting for him. And let's see if he turns around and comes back. And I was so hoping he did, but he didn't. Punk then said that McIntyre didn't end his WrestleMania dream. He only postponed it. He said in baseball, there's such thing as a 5-tool player. And he is a 5-tool player. He's good in the ring. He's good on the mic. He's good on commentary. And that's what he did at WrestleMania. He said, McIntyre, well, as I'm a 5-tool player, you're just a tool. That McIntyre picked a fight with the pettiest man on the roster, maybe even on the earth. McIntyre was the hater who hated everything about CM Punk. But as time goes on, McIntyre acts more and more like Punk, and maybe he doesn't hate Punk, but he hates himself instead. Punk then broke McIntyre. Punk said that he broke McIntyre's elbow, and next time, he's going to break his face. He's going to break his heart, even if he has to show up in Glasgow. That if I have to show up in Glasgow, pop out and break your face, I'll do it. He's not afraid, but McIntyre might be afraid of him. Great promo from CM Punk. Great promo. And then he looks at his watch and he's like, well, I guess he's not showing up, so my time is over. I was like, okay. In and you're out, you're good, you're gone. Vicious says it was 2022, not 2002. What did I say? I don't remember saying a date about anything. Did I say a date just now? Inform me what I said wrong. Apparently I said 2002 instead of 2022, but I don't even remember at all saying, oh, I know what you're talking about. The Clash of the Castle match. Gotcha. Now that I think about it. My bad. Part of my dyslexia. Sometimes I miss up dates that are super close like that. Like 2022, I'll say it's 2002. Like on the Backlash review, I meant to say 2021, and I think I said 2001. So numbers and letters, sometimes my brain just flips them around and messes them up. So this then led to Kathy Kelly in the back, talking to Ricochet about the King of the Ring tournament. Ricochet was ready to define a legacy for himself. Braun Strowman would then show up, and basically Kathy was like, Braun, so glad to see you back here on Raw. What led to you getting involved with the Judgment Day last week? And he was like, that was just something I felt like I needed to do because I hate bullies, but it ain't about me right now. It's about Ricochet. And show him why you call yourself King Ricochet. Go get him, kid. And I'm just like, kid? And I didn't realize Braun is 40, Ricochet's 35. Braun is 5 years older than Ricochet. I guess calling him kid is whatever. This then led to our first Queen of the Ring match tonight. It was Io Sky versus Natalya. 10.5-minute match. Really good match. Pat McAfee did mention that tomorrow, Owen Hart's birthday. He also mentioned that Natty stated that she is dedicating her time in the tournament to a former King of the Ring, her uncle, Owen Hart. So early on, Natalya hit a superplex after a break. Fought out of a crossface. And Sky followed this up with a double foot stomp and a drop kick for a 2. They traded reversals until Natalya hit a sit-out powerbomb for a 2. Natalya then applied a sharpshooter, but she quickly countered and drove her into the bottom turnbuckle. She followed this up with the Meteora in the corner and a moonsault for the pinfall victory. I thought for, tournament match, first rounder, 10 minutes. Yeah, a lot of these matches got way more time than I expected. So, doing the 6 tournament matches and then the one other match that didn't even have a finish. Really good. A lot of action tonight and a lot of good action. So, Io Sky. Let me see who's she facing next. Io does advance in the tournament and will face the winner of Shayna Baszler and Zelina Vega from over the weekend. But we got some interesting news regarding the Queen of the Ring tournament. So after the match, Dakota Kai grabbed a microphone and gave us a little news. She stated that unfortunately, Asuka is injured and cannot compete in the Queen of the Ring tournament. She will not be facing Lyra Valkyria, and instead, Kai will be taking her spot. Kai will be filling in for Asuka in this tournament, so we don't really have any details on, the injury to Asuka. I know PW Insider did post something. Let me see if their report has any news. All they say is WWE announced during Raw, Asuka is injured and pulled from the tournament. We do not know the nature of the injury. So yeah, Asuka's injury is not known at this time, but Asuka is hurt. Now let me see something really fast, because we know Asuka worked Backlash, but did Asuka work the following night is my question. The following night's live event. Let me see. No, Asuka has not worked since the Backlash match. So, I don't like to assume, but assuming that's where she got injured. So if you do hear anything further on the injury to Asuka and why she had to be pulled from the tournament, we will give you an update. Now, Dakota would go on a little bit more. She issued a warning to Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Becky Lynch. She said the Damage Control, they're coming for all the gold. The champions better watch out. And they played this up later as well. Esports Gaming Rule says, I wonder what is the status of the relationship of Owen Hart's family in AEW. Now it is really over. I don't know what you mean by now it's really over. Like, you don't. I mean, Tony didn't announce an Owen Hart tournament this year, did he? We haven't gotten a 2024 Owen Hart Cup. And now them mentioning Owen during a natty thing, that's nothing new. They've done that before. They've mentioned Owen during natty matches. But the interesting thing is during Backlash, they did show like a video package highlighting former King of the Ring winners and the Queen of the Ring and this and that. And they did like significantly show Owen. I don't know if that means anything, but yeah, AEW has not announced a 2024 Owen Hart Cup tournament. So I don't know what that relationship is. That is a good question that I didn't even think about. Are they doing another Owen Hart Cup or Owen Hart Foundation tournament? Because usually the finals have been Double or Nothing. We're coming up on Double or Nothing in 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3. 2. Yeah. So there's 3 more Dynamites and Collisions until that pay-per-view. So I don't know. Seems like they're not doing an Owen Hart this year unless they do it later in the year. But it's always had the finals at Double or Nothing. So it's like, what are we doing? But as we move on, they did the thing that we've been asking. We've been asking both WWE and AEW to do. You got somebody new coming up, whether that's a call up from NXT or somebody new from outside the company. Give us a great 90-second video package telling us why we need to care about this person, why they are important. And we got that for Ilya Dragunov. We also got one for Lyra Valkyria later. So thank you. Thank you for telling the people that maybe have heard of Ilya or maybe never heard of Ilya, don't watch NXT, telling them why this guy matters, why this guy is important, and why this guy is big enough and good enough to be in this tournament. And that led to Ilya Dragunov and Ricochet in a 16.5-minute match that was, as Sheamus would say, banger after banger after banger after banger. This match was awesome. And as soon as this match ended, I go, I need this match again on a pay-per-view premium live event with no interruptions and commercials. Because if they were able to do this stuff on just Raw, oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. So about 90 seconds in, we go to a break. We come back and Ricochet tried to moonsault off the apron, but Dragunov caught him and hit a release German suplex. Basically, he threw Dragunov over the top rope or whatever out of the ring. The referee then got in the way. And she's like, no, don't go after him. And he's like, excuse me. Jumps over the ropes, moonsault off the middle rope. There we go. He took this German. It was one of those, take the German but over rotate it so you land on your face. Your stomach, your front, so you take a front bump. Oh, that was loud. When he put it down, whoo, buddy. Dragonov then followed this up with a springboard drop kick for a 2. Ricochet then hit a Hurricane Rana off the top. That was a little weird because it took forever for them to set it up. Basically, Dragonov's on the top rope. Ricochet climbs up there and they grab each other and they're going, they're wiggling each other and they're moving each other around. Ricochet then falls and tumbles to the apron. And I go, was that supposed to happen? And it seems like it was. But then Ricochet kind of gets on his knees on the apron, puts his head between the top and middle rope and is sitting there. And I'm like, okay, is Dragunov going to go for a leg drop here or something? Draping leg drop? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, Ricochet starts to get up, springboards, jumps to the top rope, bounces Hurricane Rana. Great looking spot, but it just took way too long for them to set up. That was the one what the heck in this match. Everything else was great. So he does the Hurricane Rana off the top. Dragunov immediately rolls to the outside, and Pat McAfee's like, Dragunov with the wherewithal to get out of the ring before Ricochet can attack. And Ricochet immediately hits a dive, and Pat goes, never mind, Ricochet attacked. So Dragunov then goes to the side of the ring, like hard cam side. Ricochet jumps back in the ring, dive again through the ropes. Dragunov then tries to retreat a little more, going over to the ramp, and this is when we get that cool spot. Ricochet runs the ropes, does a corkscrew plancha over the top rope. We get the top-down camera shot for this, and yeah, this was great. Kind of looked like he kneed Ilya in the head a little bit off of this, but regardless, super good. Really good. Awesome. After a second break, Dragunov hit a leaping senton off the top for a 2. Dragunov then followed this up with some chops, but Ricochet hit a super kick and traded kicks until Ricochet hit a Finley roll and a lion salt for a 2. Dragunov responded with a running knee strike, but Ricochet hit a poison Rana. Ricochet then tried another lion salt, but Dragunov knocked him out of midair with an uppercut. Dragunov then hit the H-bomb and went for the Torpedo Moscow, but instead, Ricochet countered it into a recoil. Ricochet then went to the top, but Dragunov brought him down with a superplex. Dragunov immediately hit one more big H-bomb and pinned Ricochet 1, 2, 3. Again, this match was so good. This match was great. This match was awesome. This match was everything we wanted and more. And so now Ilya Dragunov will move on to take on Jey Uso next week in a second round quarterfinal match. Go to the back, and Jackie Redmond interviews Sheamus. Sheamus mentioned going through several medical procedures just to return to the ring. He says he doesn't like Gunther. Didn't call him a Nazi this time. And they had, banger after banger, and they're going to have another banger tonight. And he plans on kicking Gunther's arse. So if you didn't see on Twitter, well, Sheamus basically called Gunther a Nazi. So I could find that tweet and pull it up really fast. Here it is. We'll throw this up on the screen really fast. Sheamus tweeted this out. I want to say yesterday. I could be wrong. It could have been Saturday, but I think it was yesterday. Sheamus sent out this tweet here that states, An Austrian with a funny haircut has a thing for military-style coats, proclaims superiority over others, hangs out with Germans, and betrays his Italian ally. So yeah, basically, he since deleted the tweet, and actually deleted that tweet pretty quickly, but basically called freaking Gunther a Nazi. And I'm just like, oof. Like, oh. Not good in 2024. Call Gunther or anybody a Nazi. Now I'll just say, my family is German. They're from Germany. And my grandmother was part of the German war, or the German army in World War II. So I'll just say that though. As we move forward, we had another Queen of the Ring match. This one only went 5 minutes, 20 seconds or so. Ivy Nile hit a delayed vertical suplex early on and held her up pretty long. Because it was, Ivy Nile and Zoe Stark. They showed good power here between both women. Stark, though, did come back with a springboard dropkick and get a 2 off of it. Nile hit a bulldog off the top rope for a 2. Stark then hit a sliding kick for a 2. Stark then knocked Nile off the top rope, hit a reverse suplex, a Z360, and picked up the victory to advance in the Queen of the Ring tournament. So as she advances, next week she will be facing, let me pull that up really quick. Should have had these more readily available, but Zoe will face Lyra? Yeah, Lyra. Because it was either Lyra or Dakota Kai. Lyra beat Dakota Kai. So, not the best of matches, but it was there, and both women did look really good. So, go to the back, and Priest is with Adam Pearce, trying to get his next tag title defense, and he literally brings in the coach of the Yukon Huskies. And before he can really say anything else, Miz walks up and goes, Truth, what are you doing? You need to consult with me about tag title defenses. And you even know who this is. We're not facing the basketball team. He goes, yeah, this man's from that small little independent wrestling company, the NCAA. And Miz is like, no. Coach of the Yukon Huskies, the basketball team. So they all ended up walking off. Braun Breaker then comes up and says, Pierce, we need to talk. Why wasn't I put in the King of the Ring tournament? Pierce is like, valid question. Let's go speak in my office. And unless I missed something, there's no follow-up to that. Unless I missed it, I got no follow-up, saw no follow-up to why Braun's not in the tournament. Like, Braun asked, why am I not in the tournament? And then we learned nothing. So hopefully we get some sort of follow-up to that. Judgment Day's in the back. Priest told Balor he didn't need to apologize for losing to Jey Uso. It was only one match. McDonough said that Balor probably wasn't 100% after Strowman attacked him last week anyways. Priest then said, oh, we're going to deal with Finn Balor, or with Braun Strowman. You're going to, and then Dom comes in. That mustache gets thicker every week. So Dom comes in. He's got Carlito with him, and Priest is just like, what is this guy doing here? And Dom's like, I know you guys have history and whatnot, but he needs our help. He goes, yeah, last year, Backlash, you cost me my match with Bad Bunny. Carlito's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. But you scratch my back, I scratch your back. You help me, I help you. I need help with the LWO. He's like, I don't care what he needs. Dom, get him out of here. So Dom bringing in other guys, and they keep getting mad at him. Like, why do you keep bringing more people around us? We don't need no more people. Because at first when Dom was like, I know you guys have history, but I was like, history? History for what? And then as soon as Priest said last year at Backlash, I go, oh, he came in and helped the LWO and helped Bad Bunny. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So then we had a minute 45-second match that ended in a disqualification. It was Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. And all this match was, it was not to have a match between Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. It was to eventually set up a triple threat at King and Queen of the Ring for the IC title. So they rushed to show off some power moves and some other stuff early on. And Sami Zayn, about a minute and a half in, runs in and attacks Chad Gable. And they call for the DQ. They trade some spots until Reed lays them both out. And then follow Bronson Reed up the ramp and to the back. Adam Pearce is waiting for him in gorilla position. Pearce confronted Reed. And Reed's like, hey, I don't care about Chad Gable. I don't care about Sami Zayn. All I want is a shot to win the Intercontinental Championship. Chad Gable ruined that last week, and now Sami Zayn's getting involved in stuff. Make it right. And he bumps Pearce as he walks off. So I was like, okay. Interesting. We then get a Lyra Valkyria hype video. You got to tell us who she is. Because again, if you didn't watch NXT, you may not know who Lyra is. Then we got Gunther in the back, and this was great. Gunther's like, oh, I heard what Sheamus said. He wants to have another banger with me. I don't care about bangers. I don't care about having the greatest match of all time. I don't even care if the fans like my match. Sheamus is a weak-minded people pleaser, and all I care about is winning. That's all that matters to me. Sheamus would be no obstacle for the Ring General. And I'm just like, yes, this is what Gunther is. I don't care about pleasing the fans. I don't care if you give me a bunch of star ratings or if you say my match was good. I'm just going to go out there, beat somebody's ass, and pick up a victory because that's all that matters to me. To this man, it's all about wins and losses. It don't matter if, somebody gives them 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars. It's all about wins and losses, and that's what truly matters. And I'm just like, fuck. Why don't more wrestlers say this? I don't care about having great matches. I care about winning my matches. Then Becky Lynch comes down and sits in the ring with Michael Cole. And this kind of got dragged out a little longer than needed to be. So he first asked Lynch about, being at the Kentucky Derby and doing things like that to help promote the company. And then he goes, and tell me about this hat. And they show a picture of her from her Instagram wearing this reflective silver hat. And all of a sudden, no one's speaking for a moment. And then finally, he's like, where did the hat come from or whatever? And Becky goes, I don't know, I got it on Etsy. That's not what you said on Saturday when she was interviewed by NBC Sports. They asked her about the hat. And she said, I picked this up at a little boutique in Barcelona. I picked it up at a little boutique in Barcelona. Yet on Raw, she's just like, I don't know. What do you want me to say about the hat? I bought it on Etsy. Whatever. Cool. What? So which is it? You bought it in Barcelona or you bought it at home on Etsy? Anywho, they moved on to the championship. Lynch put over the likes of Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Kiana James, and Lyra Valkyria. Lynch then droned on and on and on until, well, eventually Liv Morgan interrupted. And is it just me? Or is Liv Morgan's new character a woe is me whiny little bitch? It's like, I didn't get this. I didn't get that. People aren't talking about me. Why am I overlooked and underestimated? Morgan was bored with Becky Lynch and annoyed by her as well because Becky didn't mention her. She said she was tired of being overlooked and overestimated. Morgan reminded Lynch that she was a former Money in the Bank winner, women's champion, and multi-time tag team champion. And I'm just like, okay, all you're doing is whining and crying and moaning and groaning. It doesn't get me interested in seeing you fighting for the belt. She goes, and I beat Nia Jax last week in this ring, and I injured Rhea Ripley. So thank you for helping you get that belt. And I'm just like, okay. Well, if you're really as good as you said you were, you would have won the Battle Royal last week instead of Becky. Becky, who got put through a freaking announce table. So after all that, Morgan's like, I can't believe you don't respect me. And Becky literally goes, hey, dummy, shut up. If you would have let me finish, I was literally going to say that at King and Queen of the Ring in 3 weeks, I would love to defend my title against you, Liv Morgan. Lynch said Liv has done a lot, but, well, you haven't beaten me in this ring. Morgan said that she knew what she had been missing. Purpose. Now, she has purpose. She go out there and beat Lynch. Her purpose was taking everything Ripley loved, which meant winning the women's championship. And I'm like, okay, well, you're not winning it from Rhea, so yeah. Put the Rhea stuff in the rear view. Rhea's out. She's gone. She's hurt. We don't need to mention her in this Liv Morgan story anymore. Like, I need the women's title because it means so much to Rhea. Well, Rhea don't even fucking have it no more. So then shut up about that and just, I want it because I want it. This then led to Damage Control coming out. Kai reiterated what they said earlier. Basically, they're going to take over Monday Night Raw. And they kind of start acting like the Shield. They surround the ring and everything. Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch go back to back in the ring. And they're like looking around like, who's going to strike first? Who's going to strike first? And then Liv bails. And she's like, you think I'm going to help you? You think I'm going to be in there with you? No. So she goes to walk up the ramp. Damage Control jumps in. Lyra Valkyria then runs out. And she's like, what are you doing, Liv? She jumps in and helps Becky Lynch. This didn't do really much anything for me, if I'm going to be honest. I felt like it was just like, hey, we need to fill about 8 minutes. So throw Becky out there. She could fill time. And we'll use that to build up her next match. So, yeah, kind of a weak segment. In my opinion, probably the weakest of the night. We go to the back, and Jackie Redmond's with Sami Zayn. Zayn says that he's got personal issues with Chad Gable, but now he's got business issues with Bronson Reed. He said there's only one way to get rid of both of those issues because he thought they were both in the past already. He's a King and Queen of the Ring to triple threat. I'll defend this IC title against both of them. Zayn says that he was knocked down tonight, just like he had been many times before. But when the pressure was on, that is when he's at his best. He said he would walk out of Saudi Arabia still Intercontinental Champion. He said something in some other language, or maybe in Arabic, I don't know, and yeah. Excuse me. Well, Sammy basically said that I want to defend my title against both at King and Queen of the Ring. So speaking of Queen of the Ring, we had another first round match, Lyra Valkyria against Dakota Kai. The match went 8 minutes and 45 seconds. And disrespect to these women, they're over here doing this match, and then we get a 30-second trailer for Kingdom of Planet of the Apes. And I'm like, what? I don't need to see this during the match. Show it after or right before the match. So disrespectful. So they aired this. The match went in like 2 minutes, and we go to a break. Lyra was on offense after the break, hitting strikes, a flying crossbody, and a fisherman suplex for it too. Lyra then draped over the middle ropes. Kai hit a stomp and got a 2 off of it. Kai then follows up the running corner kick for a 2. Kai missed a GTK, but hit a scorpion kick instead. Lyra then countered Kai's next move into a Nightwing and got the victory. Okay match, wouldn't call it great or anything. And then Lyra does her finisher, the Nightwing, which is kind of like a Michinoku driver, but she just grabbed her, flipped her over, and then sat her down. Didn't boom slam her, no, none of that. It was just kind of she sat her down, just put her down on the mat. Didn't slam her, didn't none of that. So the finish kind of looked a little weak because the way Lyra did it. I don't know. Also, speaking of Michinoku driver, freaking Natty does a scoop slam in the middle of her match. Like, my mind just went blank. Why did my mind just go blank? I literally just forgot who Natty wrestled. Io. So Io runs at Natty. Natty grabs her and just does one of those quick scoop slams, but Natty kind of falls with it. And Michael Cole yells out, "Oh, nice Michinoku driver." And I'm like, that wasn't a Michinoku driver. That was a scoop slam, and Natty kind of slipped with it. What shit? Anywho. We got Kofi Kingston promo sitting in the locker room saying that he was not supposed to be in this tournament. This was supposed to be Woods going for his second King of the Ring title. He said, but last week, Gunther injured Xavier Woods, and it's unclear how long Xavier Woods is going to be out of action. He said if Gunther advances, Kingston couldn't wait to get him and get his hands on him. He said but first, Kingston says that he would have to beat Rey Mysterio, the legend, the icon, the man he looked up to growing up. He respects Rey, but he had to put him down unapologetically, like his name was Kendrick Lamar or Drake. I'm going to say right now, I saw stuff on Twitter. People say they were beefing. I don't know what that's all about. I didn't get this. I don't know. I didn't look into it. I'm not a rap fan, so I didn't care. But I saw so many people on Twitter over the weekend. Oh, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Drake. Couldn't care and didn't even know what was going on. I just know that apparently they're dissing each other. I don't know. He says that he has to win this tournament in honor of Woods. And after all this time, 3 words still rang true. New Day rocks. I thought this was really good. Just the way that they did this. It was shot with like one light, and he's sitting in one of the locker area. He's like in the locker room, but in one of like the cubbies or whatever. And just like, hey, stuff happens, but now I want to avenge my friend. Hey, I got to fight this guy that I respect. But if I want to advance in this tournament, I can't just be like, oh, we're friends. I like you, So this is really good. I really like this. So next week on Raw, we got Jey Uso versus Ilya Dragunov. Now we know it's Gunther versus the winner of Kofi Kingston and Rey Mysterio, which probably going to be Kofi. Lyra Valkyria versus Zoe Stark. And Io Sky versus the winner of Shayna Baszler and Zelina Vega. If you want to keep it heel babyface, then you can go Zelina Vega. We'll get Io versus Zelina, I think, maybe. So then we have our main event. 21 minutes. King of the Ring opening round match. Gunther with Ludwig Kaiser, because that plays into this match, against Sheamus. They repeatedly smack each other early on as hard as they can on the chest. And, well, Sheamus' chest is beat red pretty quickly. After a commercial break, Gunther chops Sheamus in the back. And he does that a couple times. And once he chops him in the back of the head. Gunther held a rest hold at one point. And they zoomed in on the back of Sheamus. And you could already see Gunther's gnarly handprint. Sheamus then fought back with the backbreaker. But Gunther responded with the clothesline for a 2. Sheamus hit a white noise for a 2 of his own. And then a power slam for another 2. Sheamus then hit 17 beats of the Bowdrin. But Gunther then dodged a brogue kick. When he did, basically, Sheamus' leg went over the top rope. Gunther distracts the ref, and Kaiser takes the leg and twists it up in the other rope. The referee's then looking at him like, hey, leave him alone. Gunther comes over, wrenches at the leg, and then eventually he distracts the referee again. Kaiser then goes after the knee of Sheamus, drop kicks it. The referee kind of sees it and says, hey, what's going on here? There's no way he fell. And yeah, you're out of here. So he kicks out Kaiser. Crowd cheers roariously. And the referee checks on Sheamus as we go to another break. We come back and Gunther smashed Sheamus' knee against the ring post during the break and held a leg lock on the injured leg. Sheamus then fought to his feet, but Gunther kicked his leg out from under him. Gunther then ripped off Sheamus' knee pad and continued to target the leg. Sheamus responded with a clothesline and a great-looking lifting knee strike for a 2. Sheamus went for a brogue kick, but his knee gave out and he couldn't run more than halfway across the ring. Gunther then hit a powerbomb, but only got a 2 off of it. Gunther then applied a half crab, but Sheamus quickly got to the ropes to break the hold. Gunther then went to the top, but Sheamus cut him off with a Celtic cross. Got a 2 off of it. Gunther hit a German suplex, but Sheamus no-sold it, popped right up, and hit a knee strike, followed by a brogue kick. Sheamus then took too long to make the cover, and Gunther did kick out. Gunther then applied yet another half crab and pulled Sheamus to the middle of the ring. Sheamus tried to drag himself back to the ropes, but could not make it to the ropes before having to tap out. They literally were at the top of the hour, and they said, Gunther advances. Gunther is going on to the next round of the tournament. We'll see you next week here on USA Network. And they go straight off the air. Don't show the graphic of Gunther's advance, just like they do with every other match. They're just like, This match went to the last moment we had. We're off. So interesting that Raw never gets overruns like NXT does every single week, but probably because they're already going 3 hours. So Gunther advances. Gunther will face the winner of Kofi Kingston and Rey Mysterio. I believe it's next week on Raw. But this main event, this match was excellent. Just like most matches tonight. This is a really good action-packed episode of Monday Night Raw. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So let's get the poll up here. What did you think? Raw. I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. If you are watching live on Twitch, you can hit that poll. We'll go check all the other ones momentarily. So, as far as the threads poll does go, 56% liked the show, 33% thought it was just all right, and 11% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll. Oh, I messed up the poll. Anyways, I didn't like it. 81% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right. As far as the YouTube community poll does go, 80% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. Some of the comments here, one says phenomenal. Says, I'm sure that the Raw finals of King of the Ring is going to be Ilya versus Gunther. Very possible. That's very possible. If we look at the graphic, let's see how the everything breaks down. Oh, that's the women. Here's the men. Let me pull this up on the screen. So Gunther moves into here. We didn't get an updated graphic. He then faces the winner of Kofi and Rey. I think it's going to be Kofi. Gunther then beats Kofi. I think Dragonov beats Jay, maybe with some help from unwanted help from Drew McIntyre, maybe. And then, yeah, I could see it being Gunther and Ilya Dragunov in the finals here. Now, some may ask, what about SmackDown? Well, I don't know if this was supposed to happen, but on Raw Talk tonight, PWE, I guess you could say, accidentally revealed the SmackDown side of things, and it's a doozy. So let's pull this up really fast. Let's go to Raw Talk. I haven't got a screenshot of it yet, but I was told this happened on Raw Talk, so let's go find that really quickly. See if I can get a screenshot here. Give me a moment to scrub through Raw Talk. No, I don't know. Again, I haven't watched the show, so I don't know if they did this on purpose or by accident, but I got a DM right before I went live with the podcast that said, hey, they just showed the SmackDown brackets for the King of the Ring. Now, I'm not seeing. Okay, also, that official. It looks like. Give me 1 second. It doesn't say if it's official or not, but they talked about, are we getting a triple threat for the IC title? Okay, so where are these brackets? Let me see. Maybe someone posted them on Twitter, because I just scrubbed through really fast and couldn't actually find it, but hold on. Go to Twitter, type in SmackDown bracket. I don't know what to search. Found it. Here we go. So, not the best of images, but it'll do. We do know, on the SmackDown side of things, we got AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, Baron Corbin versus Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight versus Santos Escobar, and Bobby Lashley against Tama Tonga. I love that. I thought they would have put Solo Sikoa in this tournament, but no. Tama Tonga, that shows, hey, we're gonna highlight you, bud. Now, as far as my predictions here, I'm not sure. Let's say AJ over Orton. Hayes over Corbin. Another reason I say those two, because I want AJ versus Carmelo Hayes. Then, LA Knight over Santos Escobar. So if I'm picking LA Knight, we need the heel, Tama Tonga over Bobby Lashley. So I think the first round for SmackDown goes AJ beats Randy, Carmelo beats Corbin, Knight beats Escobar, and Tonga beats Lashley. That's my predictions for the SmackDown side of things when it comes to the King of the Ring opening round matches. And let's check the Twitch poll. Everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, we will be back live on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Luke says he'll be back Wednesday. He says I'll be back for sure on Wednesday, so hopefully we get Luke back on Wednesday. He's been really busy with school and stuff. But with that, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good one. See you next time.